Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, lived a little squirrel named Sandy. Sandy was constantly unhappy, always looking at other animals and wishing he had their attributes. Despite having a cozy nest and an abundance of nuts, he felt something was missing in his life. One day, as he was collecting nuts near a blooming meadow, he saw a beautiful butterfly flitting about with its vibrant wings. How I wish I could be as colorful and graceful as the butterfly, Sandy thought, his heart heavy with longing. Gathering his courage, Sandy approached the butterfly. "Excuse me," he began shyly, "but I couldn't help but admire your beautiful wings. I wish I could be as colorful and graceful as you." The butterfly, with a gentle smile, replied, "Thank you for your kind words, Sandy. But I wasn't always this way. I used to feel the same way when I was a caterpillar. I envied the birds for their ability to fly. I thought they had the perfect life, soaring above the trees and seeing the world from high above. But now that I can fly, I see that even birds have their own problems. You should talk to the bluebird. Perhaps you will understand." Determined to find contentment, Sandy decided to visit the bluebird. He ventured deep into the forest, following the melodious songs that guided him to the bluebird's home. The bluebird, perched high on a branch, was singing a melancholic tune that resonated through the trees. "Why are you sad?" asked Sandy, puzzled by the bluebird's sorrowful song. The bluebird sighed. "I envy the eagle for its strength and majesty. Everyone admires the eagle, while I am just a small, ordinary bird. My blue feathers are nothing compared to the eagle's powerful wings and sharp talons." Curious, Sandy flew to the top of a mountain to speak to the eagle. The journey was long and arduous, but Sandy was determined. When he finally reached the peak, he found the eagle, with its sharp eyes and powerful wings, perched majestically on a rocky outcrop, surveying the world below. "Eagle, you must be the happiest of all creatures," Sandy said, his voice filled with awe. The eagle looked down at Sandy and replied, "While I am strong and admired, I envy the phoenix. The phoenix can rise from its ashes and has the power of immortality. I may be powerful, but I am not invincible. But even the phoenix, with all its glory, has its own struggles and desires." Intrigued, Sandy sought out the legendary phoenix. The journey to find the phoenix took Sandy across vast deserts, through dense forests, and over towering mountains. When he finally found the phoenix, it was ablaze with fiery feathers, radiating a powerful and majestic aura. "Phoenix, do you ever feel unhappy?" Sandy asked, his voice filled with wonder and curiosity. The phoenix nodded slowly, its eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages. "Despite my power to rise again, I often long for the simple, carefree life of a squirrel. I admire the way squirrels live without the burden of expectations and the need to constantly prove themselves. My life is filled with the pressure to rise from the ashes, to be reborn time and time again. Sometimes I just want to rest and enjoy the simple pleasures of life." Sandy was taken aback. He realized that every creature, no matter how grand or humble, had its own struggles and desires. He thanked the phoenix for its wisdom and flew back to his home in the forest. As he sat on a branch, watching the sunset and painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Sandy reflected on his journey. He understood that true happiness comes from appreciating who you are and what you have. He looked around at his familiar surroundings, the trees that provided him shelter, the friends he had made, and the abundance of food he could gather with ease. From that day on, Sandy embraced his life as a squirrel. He found joy in his ability to climb trees with agility, gather nuts, and live freely without the burden of envy. He realized that his unique qualities made him special, and that happiness was a state of mind. Sandy learned to cherish the present moment and appreciate the simple pleasures that life offered. Whenever he felt the pangs of envy creeping in, he reminded himself of the butterfly, the bluebird, the eagle, and the phoenix. Each of them had their own struggles, yet they continued to live their lives to the fullest. Sandy found peace in knowing that he was exactly where he was meant to be,